strong confidence for her leadership. We already have Alicia Andrews who spoke from Virginia 10. So let us welcome Kathy Barnett. And this is a fundraising call. So after that, so two people have donated to Alicia Andrews, and we would like to make it 10 or 20 people donating. We'll match every fund. So if anyone else would like to do that, please chat on the side so that we can release a check for Alicia Andrews. And now we need to do it for Kathy Barnett. Kathy Barnett, forum is yours. Please welcome.
Hello, everyone. How are you? I see you guys have it on mute, so you may not be saying hello. But I don't know who was just speaking when you were talking about the racket and that they're creating problems that they don't intend to solve. That is absolutely correct. I call them forever problems. And that is what the Democrat Party does. And you see it not just here in America, but across the world when you have a particular group of people who want to garner as much control and as much power as possible. They create forever problems that will never be resolved. Instead, every year they will come to us and say, oh, we almost have it. We just need more money, more time, more freedoms, more bureaucrats. Just give us more, right? And it's something that I talk about in my book all the time because I'm looking at the Black community. And that's exactly the Democrats' strategy. It's coming into the Black community and say, you know what? We just need more money, more time, more bureaucrats, more of your freedoms and liberties, more invasion, and then we'll solve the problem. And they're just forever problems. We see that with climate change from the perspective of the Democrat Party. We see that with the healthcare system, with virtually every single policy. You see them taking on this parental role. And we are the subjects, we are their dependents, their children. Even in how they're handling COVID, it's the exact same thing. Now we have to stay hidden in our basement until we find a cure, apparently, until we eradicate the virus altogether. Just forever problem. So whoever said that, you're absolutely correct. I agree.
Alicia, Kathy, it's very late for you there. I'll
It
ask
is.
you certain questions. Like, we have seen your campaign and we have been consistently supporting through various Hindu groups. And this time we want to fund your campaign through Sentinel of Dharma, which is the latest pack we launched from the Hindu community. Now, in one of the things that we have noticed in your campaign is, first of all, your communications are super. One of the best campaigns we have seen in Pennsylvania. I would like to congratulate you for that.
Thank you.
And you have run a campaign which has been very grassroots, and which we have so many proofs of that. It's not just even funny. So, and I think you will play a very good role in the Trump administration, supporting him, and I'm sure you're winning also now. And so there are a lot of positive things going on for you. What do you
Yes.
think is the biggest factor in your constituency that is making people vote for President Trump?
I mean, Democrats are doing half of our job for us. If our job is to convince people of the distinction between the parties, I mean, they're clearly doing most of the job for us. People want to get back to work. Where I live, for example, it leans a little left, and I always knew that in order to win, I could not just go to people like us. I couldn't just go to people who think like us and vote like us, that I would have to make a way into some of these more Democrat leaning circles. We have several school districts here that are 100% virtual, and these liberal parents are about to lose their mind. And there's no reason for us to be hybrid or to be 100% virtual in a large portion of our school districts. And so, again, Democrats are doing half of the job of forcing these Democrat leaning individuals to now begin to think a little differently. They're coming out, they're seeking me out, they're asking me to come into their circles and to talk to them. They're asking for people who will support them. We as parents know best. But because Democrats take this paternalistic approach to everything, that they and the government knows more than we, the parents, people are realizing that and
Yeah.
paying attention. Not everyone, but a good number. That's one very clear example down here. These liberal parents want their kids back in school. Everyone doesn't have the privilege of staying at home. Some of us need to go out and work. And so that is one really big issue. Can I also share some other good news with you guys?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay, great. So excited. So last year, 2018, when my opponent won, she took 66% of the vote. And her challenger at the time, Dan David, took 34%. So that's a really big margin, right? We just got our polls again, and she is at 50%, and I am at 49.993%.
Wow.
So that wall, that disparity, oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. We are tracking at 60% with independents, and I needed 10% of the Democrat vote. I'm getting 14%. So you guys' support is so crucial. She has now debated me 4 times. Incumbents do not debate people like me if they don't have to. But she has literally taken me into her circles. These are the circles I would have never had access to. League of Women Voters, they're very Democrat. I just did 2 different primarily Black organizations, and Black people, kind of like a number of other minorities, tend to lean Democrat, but she brought me into her circles. And so once again, I'm able to let people know they have a better option. So it has been so exciting. Last quarter, a couple of weeks ago, we ended the quarter at $598,000. My average donation is $55. I am virtually 100%, maybe 99.5% organic, grassroots. My opponent, she has raised almost $1 million from 214 PACs have given her that. For the year. My year, she has not raised more than I have. For my year, I'm probably like, I don't know, maybe about $800,000 for the time that I've been running since this year. And so she is completely owned by PACs. Very few. I think it's about 10% of her contributions are from grassroots individuals. She's completely owned. And so we're letting that information be known to people, and people are responding. So very excited, very exhausted, but very excited.
No, I love the
God
energy.
bless.
I love the energy that you show, and I would like to request. Already, a few donations have come in for you, and we're going to doubling it up. So whatever
Thank you.
donation comes for Kathy, we're going to add one to that. So 1-to-1 match we are doing. So
Thank
anybody would
you
like to?
guys. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you,
So
listen, we just put on retainer a really good lawyer, Jonathan Goldstein, if you guys know him. He worked on the Trump 2016 campaign. He was the lead lawyer for Trump in 2016, and we're going to put on another lawyer. We're retaining another lawyer. These are the 2 heaviest hitters in this particular region. And we're doing it because we're sending a very strong message to the Democrat Party. I ain't playing. I am not going to have my behind beat and handed to me. We are coming for a fight. And that's exactly what we're going to do. These people are going to try to steal this election. It's so mind boggling. It's so mind boggling. And how in the world did we get to this spot? We're almost behaving like third world countries, like
yeah.
people over in Afghanistan. It is absolutely ridiculous. We're looking like Nigeria at the moment. I mean, just foolishness, as if we have no sense of law and order. And it is mind boggling, but we are in. But I'm completely engaged. I intend to fight And so every dollar you guys provide me from this point forward, it is going straight into this battle. We're going to win. We just have to make sure that when we do, they don't try to steal it.
No
So,
worries.
So, Kathy, I have a quick question on how do you feel about Trump in Pennsylvania? Where do you put things at? I mean, last time he won, and I'm personally hoping that he's going to win by a bigger margin this time. But I just want to know your opinion on that.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the polls, and as the lies escape, and you get somewhat of a sense. I mean, Trump looks good, but who knows, right? I mean, it is just mind-boggling that anyone would vote for Biden. Clearly, the man is demented. Something is not whole about him at this point. Who on God's green earth would vote for Kamala? And yet, you have people who are completely uh, uh, manipulated. But here's some good news, because Black people vote roughly 85 to 90% for Democrat. Here in my area, we have the NAACP that is trying to give me a lot of pushback. So I've just gone around the gatekeepers to the Black community, and I've gone straight into the Black community. They just formed in an area that is about 25% below the poverty level, vote almost exclusively Democrat. They just formed a street team of 75 Black men, and they are going door to door passing out information about me. That is,
Very good.
and they are voting for Donald Trump. It's the craziest thing.
wonderful,
It's
wonderful.
like once your eyes are open, you cannot unsee what you've seen. And a lot of Black people, a lot of Hindus as well, actually, are waking up to the reality. People want their businesses to be open. This thing have gotten very personal, and so I am hopeful that these signs that I'm seeing, whether with the white progressive moms who want their kids to go back to school, but Democrats are keeping it closed, or waking up to the Black people in the northern part of my district in a 25% below poverty level, are beginning to wake up to the reality that they have been lied to. So I'm very hopeful that that is something that is translating across this state.
So,
So,
Alicia, Sharad. So what we'll do, sorry, Alicia and Kathy, my team will reach out to you. We need some information. We'll be releasing two checks for both of you after seeing all the pledge from all the candidates. So, like the FEC number, committee number, your address. So the team will reach out to you. Please try to provide that is your campaign team, so that we can definitely try to help before November 3rd, releasing the check. So just wanted to let you guys know. So we are supporting both of you, Kathy and Alicia, and will be providing the check. Thank you.
Vandana has a question. Vandana, you have turned on your video also.
Is it okay if I do without the video? Would that be okay?
Yeah,
I
we know you, so yes. Yes.
I wanted to thank both Kathy and Alicia. I think Alicia left, but I wanted to thank you ladies for running. It is such a hard job. It is such a energetic but hard on the family process. And I wanted to ask your opinion. The number of women that represent Republican Party in the Congress is 25 compared to the Democrats, who have 107 women representing them. And last week, we were talking to Tom Emmer from my state, and he is I think he's the chairman of the nominating committee for candidates for the Republican Party. And I asked him how he was going to mentor other women, or ask people like Nancy Mace and other people to come out and represent women, because I think there should be a 50% representation of women in the House and the Senate. And they should almost make it mandatory that every state should give one woman, because we are 51% of the population. So watching you has been a joy. And I just wanted to see if you had some ideas on how you would be able to mentor more women to run if and when you win. And what do you think that is there a possibility for Hindu women to come up and stand up for Senate, or become more vocal about both their religious leanings, because you must have heard that we had these resolutions by the Democrats in many cities where Hindu and India is being sort of given a really bad and egregious name, and we are just very both scared and very disenfranchised in terms of how are we being just portrayed in popular media because of the Democrat Party. So thank you.
Yeah, let me unfortunately, I'm going to be a bearer of some bad news and then some good news, okay? The Republican Party is clueless. They are clueless about
That's
diversity.
exactly, yes.
They are clueless.
I agree. Yes.
I have been sending text messages, and I've really been going in at the kneecaps at this point with the NRCC, which is the head of the Republican Party in DC, my state, as well as local. Let me just tell you what I did, and then you begin to replicate this and begin to share this. No one came looking for me. In fact, when I walked into the Republican office here locally, they had already picked their good old boy, right? One of their own, he fit the mold, older white male, and he had jumped through all the little hoops that they wanted him to jump through and sat
Yes.
on all the committee, and everyone knew him by name. They had already picked their person. And then I walked in and said, hello, I was going to run. And they weren't looking for me, and they didn't necessarily want me, but I believe in purpose, and I believe that this is exactly where I was meant to be. And so I trusted that if I could share my message to other Americans, that they would respond. And that's exactly what they did. They had to go back and tell their handpicked individual, who was a nice guy, very nice guy, had no chance of winning, but he was a really nice guy. They went back and told him to step down. And so one of the things I tell minorities all the time: stop waiting for someone to build a yellow brick road for us. They're not.
Mhm.
We're going to have to go and take it. It is ours. You're an American citizen. It is one of our rights. We get to participate in these processes, and trust the process. I knew in the endorsement, probably about 800 people there. My family and I were the only blacks in the room. And I knew maybe 3 people apart from my family. I didn't know anyone in this process because I wasn't groomed to run for office. I had no intentions. This wasn't on my bucket list. But again, going back to purpose. So no one is going to build us a yellow brick road to bring us in. No one's going to go out and necessarily look for us and bring us into their circles. The Republican Party is clueless. Outside of President Trump, the rest of them are clueless, completely clueless. And so just go take what is yours.
Mhm. Thank you.
Great reply. And I think, Kathy, we already like the way frankness that you have, and I think that's the best part of your personality. Now, anybody else has a question for her?
Yes, Adi sir, one question just to extend to Vandanaji's thought. So now when we see that the percentage wise, the people, women on the dams are more, probability of getting, kind of a candidature for, fight for the election versus the Republican. So Kathy, why you choose the harder way to have this rather than going through the Democratic Party?
Oh my gosh. I was born into the Democrat Party, just like I was born into brown skin. 85 to 90% of Black people are Democrats. There's a lot of truth to, if you're Black, you're a Democrat. But it wasn't until I was in college and began to have different experiences and see different, I just grew up and began to think for myself and realize that the Democrat Party is full of manipulation. And it was really these conservative principles that allowed me, a little Black girl on a pig farm, to begin to claw my way from up under a rock. And so I will never be a Democrat. And again, you don't go from a pig farm underneath the rock and doing what I do now if you're not a fighter. So, when someone says something is hard, it's like, okay, yeah. And I mean, what exactly has been easy? And a lot of you guys, or if not you, then your parents, what coming here to this nation and building a life, it's people like us who understand. I'm not, not trying to assume that I know you guys' backgrounds, but I guess I am making some assumptions about it. Um, you know, uh, not many of us have been given silver spoons, and yet we believe that this country is a land of hope and opportunity. And if you're willing to discipline yourself and work hard, you're able to carve out a life for yourself. And so that takes, over time, that takes discipline, and it becomes a way of life. So you're right. This has been no easy road to hoe. No one, I mean, it could have been so much easier if the Republican Party had just given me some notes and said, hey, Kathy, these are the people you need to make sure you go and talk to. These are the big donors. They didn't. They could have, but they didn't. I mean, they are completely weak and clueless out here. The state, it is Donald Trump who will win this state like he did in 2016. It will not be because of the Republican Party necessarily. And that's a very sad thing. And that's the reason why I would like to encourage you guys all the more to look in your community and to find people energetic, youthful enough to get out there and to help change the Republican Party. Did you guys know there are 30 Black Republicans who are running for the House? That's amazing.
That's
That
amazing.
never happens.
That's true.
But it is, and we can add some more color to that, and you guys jump in as well, and begin to, to broaden what it means to be a Republican.
I think
Thanks, Kathy.
that's a common thing we have heard from many candidates about the NRCC, and it's not just you are saying. Many candidates have said it. There is no support from there, and I think
None.
President Trump is running the election, and I think this election is more about the country, saving the country, than saving a party.
Yes.
That
Uh,
is the thing about this election. Now,
sorry to sorry to interrupt you, Adiji, but I wanted to know if Kathy knows about the CA resolutions that the Democrat Party is bringing all around the country.
CA.
There have been city resolutions against India and against Hindus, calling them Islamophobic and putting India down in terms of human rights and its human rights records, specifically just India, to sort of, we think, consolidate the Muslim vote from all of South Asia and Middle East to vote for the Democrats. And they were planning to do that in at least 55 cities. But COVID and the riots happened, and that train sort of got derailed. But it has happened in at least 10 cities around the country. And that has really made, that is the reason that a lot of Hindu people that I know, including myself, have left the Democrats and will be voting Republican this year, because we are feeling very, very, very threatened by the Democrats now.
You should be threatened. The Democrat Party is almost akin to a terrorist organization. The way that they're behaving, Nancy Pelosi invoking the 25th Amendment. I mean, these people are deranged and they're drunk on power. And the only thing that is going to stop them is if they lose, and they lose big. That's the only thing that's going to stop these people. So we got to make sure that, I mean, I would love you guys' support in getting into the Hindu community. I have actually, I do have a temple that I'm going into. I will send that over to you, Eddie. And if you guys know the people there, I do have a way in via someone. But if you guys know someone as well, we really got to get the message out. And if you guys can do some leg work for me behind the scenes, that would be wonderful. I would greatly
send it to me.
appreciate
Send it to
that.
me. I'll take care of it immediately.
I love it.
Yeah. In Pennsylvania, I'm connected to most of those places, Hindu places. So
Well, of
send it
course
to
you
me.
are.
I was the president of there, so I know what. So send it to me. I'll take care of it.
I will. I told you guys about that Indian Rolodex. I mean, you guys know everyone. The Indian Mama Rolodex. It is a weapon.
So
So
I have
yes.
one question. Kathy. This is Krishna. I live in the DC area. So my question is like, I see it's a very beautiful to hear that the like when you had told the story of a couple of black men just get together themselves and go door to door knocking, and it shows like strong ground movement there, and then also and it is that's very important. It's been a long time dream of me. Like I'm into software, so I was a long time dream of me to go into those kind of neighborhoods and like teach software and all, because I can teach people. So uh, and help them stand on their own, and not on entitlements and all. Uh, so going forward, if you could think of some way wherein the Hindus, who are like, who culture and all, everything is based on education, hard work, making money also at the same time, right? At the same time with the conservative values. If there is any way with the Hindus, and then also the really needy, black community can work together on many things, because I see the black community has a lot of energy, but for some reason it is not directed properly. That's just my personal opinion. But if there is
It
any
is
way,
not what properly.
no a proper streamlining of that energy that they have, right?
Yeah.
Because when I see very highly motivated and highly active in anything they do, either this way or that way. So if there is any way that Hindu community can and the black community can work, if you can think of some, as a new leader, and bridging that gap, I'm sure, like, our community would like to come forward and do something. If you just set us up a platform, or even if you ask us to set up a platform,
I would love that.
express your goals and those kind of things.
I would love that. And I love the way you characterized it. I think that is the right attitude to have. And again, I believe the Black community is waking up. I'm seeing it all the time. I think Democrats are going to be so surprised they have taken advantage of the Black vote, taking it for granted, rather. And I think they're going to be very much so surprised this particular time. But I love that. I would most definitely work with you on that.
So, very good points everyone has made. And while Kathy is here, I would like to request who is contributing to her campaign so that we can add the check for her. Anything you contribute, we add one to that. So this means that we'll equally match it, your donations. So already Manish has donated, and Krishna has also donated, and we have Vandana Vibhuti Jha has donated. So we are going to match three donations to Kathy, but we need bigger funds also. So please let me know as much as you donate, we'll match it. So if you donate 1,000, we make it 2,000 for her. So that way
You guys are the
we
best.
and also spread the word around to your friends. And this is Pennsylvania #04 congressional district, and Kathy is running from there. And your if you have friends, if you have relatives, and you would like to do door-to-door knocking for her, let us know. We'll arrange people there beginning tomorrow day after. I'll contact some people, and we'll have a door knocking for her in that district, just the way we have done in San Diego. In San Diego, we have done CA 49, CA 50. We have done more than 20,000 homes, 20,000 homes
Wow.
on the ground.
Thank
And in,
you.
and in
I
Bay
mean,
Area,
guys, that would be all the difference. I mean, that would literally be all the difference right there. That's why I'm going in. We may not get all the Hindus, like we may not get all the Black folks or all the Democrats, but if we get a slither of that vote, that makes all the difference. It'll be such a powerful voice against what the Democrat Party has done to our nation. So, thank you so very much. As always, I leave very encouraged. Thank you, Eddie. Thank
thank you.
you,
Thank you, Kathy. It's very
Sharad. Thank
needful.
you, each and every one of you. I
I have a
appreciate you so
question.
much.
What districts or what areas does your district?
Yes, Congressional District 4, it abuts Philadelphia. The county, the primary county is Montgomery County. So Montgomery County makes up the majority of my district, and it sits right up against Philadelphia. So I'm in the southeastern portion of Pennsylvania. So yes, please pull out those Rolodex and start calling. There's a sizable Indian community here.
Yes.
So I would love for you guys to make sure that they know that I'm on the radar.
So Prem Kumar Swaminathan has also donated for Alicia as well as for Kathy, and also Montgomery County of Pennsylvania, which is Krishna just posted there. So we know some doctors there, some radiologists there. They work in Harrisburg but live in your district, and we're going to call them up and make sure that they are working with you hand to, on your campaign.
Yeah, Harrisburg isn't that far. It's outside of my district, but if you call them, then I'm sure they will know someone here as well.
A lot of
I mean, each one reach one, and we can do this.
Yes.
Eddie and everyone, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
this. You guys are so generous, so kind. I truly appreciate you. I would never forget it. And we will all go to DC. I will literally send out an invitation for for my swearing in.
Yes, we are all.
And,
We all will
and
be
from
there.
what I hear, they do really big parties. Each congressional person do really big parties, so you will get an invite. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, we all will
Sure.
come together, and we are all planning to also give a party to all the candidates who are winning.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Blessings.
Thank you.
Good luck.